and welcome to Bookish Babes After Dark. Today's episode, we are bringing you our recent 5-star reads. So our recommendations for you, go and read this if you like this.
They are the creme de la creme of what we have read recently.
Mm-hmm. They are. So we're going to go around the room and we're going to tell you what we read that was 5 stars and like a teensy little bit about it. And then you've got like a whole host of recommendations that you can go and read.
Yes.
So, yeah. Shall I start?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it. Because you're going to have more of a diverse range of recs than what we have.
Yeah, so I suppose
you will bring the diversity.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, diversity, check. So I suppose I read romance, I also read fantasy, and I also read thriller. So I read like a vast number of things. I actually read less dark romance now than I think I did when we first started the podcast, which is mad, really. I'm just branching out.
Yeah.
So my first 2 are actually very similar, but they are separate books. So they're standalones, and they're by TJ Newman, who is, I think she's like an ex-flight attendant. So they are thrillers. So you've got Falling, which is basically, it's a pilot has to make a choice between killing the entire plane's worth of passengers, i.e. like crashing the plane, or his family who have been kidnapped. And when I tell you that I was on the edge of my seat the entire way through the book, like the adrenaline rush was ridiculous. I could not put it down, and I could not stop thinking about it. There was no like high or low, like where it would make you feel like it was constant.
It was a constant on edge type thing.
Yeah, like it was, like that is probably close to my favourite book of all time. It was that good.
Damn.
Excellent. Highly recommend it. Yeah. Then there was the second one, which is Drowning, which the covers look very similar. In fact, I have Drowning here. The covers look very similar. So it's like a little plane. So Drowning, again, at the start I was a bit shocked by this one because like in the first chapter, the plane goes down.
Oh.
And then you're like, what the fuck? But so the plane crashes onto water. And it's basically the rescue mission for that plane.
Ooh.
And when I say that this is also kind of like on the edge of your seat, it's kind of less so because they've kind of already crashed. But it's unexpected, and I'm not sure that they could ever do this in real life. If they can, I mean, I'm incredibly thankful. But yeah, basically at the back, there's like a little bit here that says, "There's not much time. There's even less air." So basically,
no, thank you.
No.
They end up, so like obviously they land the plane on the water, and everybody starts to get out. But then someone in the plane, when there's only like the captain, like a couple of the flight attendants, and a couple of passengers left, recognizes that something's happened. That means everyone outside the plane is going to get burned to death, and they basically close the plane doors really quickly, and everybody on the outside is like goners. And then if there's like a group of like maybe 7 people are inside the fuselage of the plane, but obviously it's filling with water because it's crashed. So then they sink to the bottom of the ocean, but they are alive in the plane.
I'm
and it's the rescue mission to try and get them.
I'm fucking seeing a bit.
So I'd say if you're sensitive to like plane related topics,
Drowning,
or you're about to go on holiday, maybe don't.
Yeah.
But they are absolutely excellent.
This isn't a nice holiday read for you.
No.
Do not take that on holiday.
This is not one for the travels.
You will forever kill me.
My god.
Next, I then did like a bit of a U-turn and went into a cowboy romance.
Fair enough.
What more could you ask for?
Oh no.
Because why not?
I think that's what you need after that.
Wells. I didn't rate this 5 stars, so we'll breeze over this one. But this is the first book in the series, and you have to read the first one to read the second one. So. But my 5-star was Seeing Red by Bailey Hannah. Now this one, you could have guessed it was going to get a 5 stars from me because this has the pregnancy trope.
Of course.
As you can see by the little bottle on the front.
Aww.
This is like, it's just like classic small town cowboy romance, but it's like she's a bit like a black cat. she kind of is slow to warm up to him, and he's like he does everything for her. He's like really trying with her, but he's kind of like the town, kind of like he's got his family are a bit like shit, and he's got the reputation of them, even though he's not with them anymore. So it's kind of got like that kind of vibe to it. But yeah, excellent books. But yeah, this one was 5 stars. Then we move on to. I'm trying to do this quick time. Then
I do like a quick fire.
Also, I read none of these on Kindle, none of these in physical, even though I have them all. I read them all on my Kindle.
That's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. She's in a trophy book girl era.
I am. Then we move on to The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. Now, Rebecca Yarros is known for her Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm saga. However, Rebecca Yarros is an excellent military romance writer. This book made me absolutely sob. Like, I absolutely sobbed on live reading this book, and I never cry at books.
You don't?
Never.
No.
I absolutely sobbed. Now, it's called The Things We Leave Unfinished because I feel like I'm like ramping up the speed of my saying because there's so much to get in. But you've got Scarlett Stanton is a really famous author. She's like a romance author. You've got 2 parts, 2 timelines. So there's back in the war in historical times. So Scarlett meets her forever, the love of her life, Jameson. He's an American, and there's kind of like that timeline. And then you've got Georgia, who is Scarlett's great-great-granddaughter, where Scarlett has died, and she's left her kind of like legacy and like all of her transcripts, things like that. She wrote a book on Scarlett wrote a book on hers and Jameson's love story, but she could never finish it because it was so heartbreaking. That's why it's called The Things We Leave Unfinished. But in the present day, there is an author, Noah, who is kind of brought in to finish the book. So you've got 2 romance stories on 2 different timelines. You've got the heartbreaking story of Scarlett and Jameson, and you've got the love story of Georgia and Noah. And the twist, I never saw the twist coming, because you know right from the start that this is a heartbreaking story, because it's the whole premise of the book. Did not see the twist coming. The twist was fucking ridiculously mad. And when I say I knew it was going to be heartbreaking, I still absolutely sobbed my eyes out like a bloody baby. So yeah, highly recommend this. And I have read another one by her before called In the Likely Event, which is another plain one.
She's on a journey with these.
She's flying. She's traveling.
she's getting them. She's getting them miles in.
Yeah. And then we move on to Quicksilver. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the physical to show you, and I'm quite salty about that because they no longer sell it because it's being traditionally published.
Rude.
However, Quicksilver is a romantasy. There is like a little sprinkling of spice in there, but it's kind of like a strange one because it's in some parts it's slow and it focuses more on the romance and the story about the people and all that kind of thing. And then on other parts it's like really high fantasy, like loads of action. So it's nice because it takes you through like different paces. But basically it gives you sort of like Hunger Games vibes in that there's like factions because there's groups of people in different districts of this area. And obviously there's certain ones are poorer than others, and she's from like the really poor one. But basically she's a thief and she steals some stuff off the queen. I think we'll call her a queen. And then she finds out that she has a special kind of ability with a type of metal called Quicksilver. And she accidentally gets taken to a Fey world. And it's all about, there's vampires in this book, guys. There's vampires. So not only is there humans and Fey, there are vampires. And I would say it's maybe actually a romantasy that you might want to read for that reason. Potentially, like if you like Akatar, it's similar in terms of the vibes, but it's also got vampires in it. And I think the way that it ends on like a little bit of a cliffhanger, not a huge one, like little one, like where you were a bit like, oh, I want to read the next one, because of what happens. So
yeah, I've seen Quicksilver dotted about everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about it,
and I'm always just like,
I think it's kind of like Marmite. Some people love it,
yeah,
and some people don't like it. And I think they don't like it because there are some parts where it is slower. Like, it's long chapters. Like, some of the chapters are 30 minutes long on your Kindle. Like, they're hefty, but it is really good.
The thing is, when it comes to a romantasy and fantasy and stuff like that, you have to be in it for the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like you can't expect something like really quick. You have to be like knee deep in
and you
there.
have to realise that the first book is setting up an entire series.
Yeah.
So the first book is going to be slower because it's all about world building, and it is great. Like, there is still action within this. Like, there's still things that happen where you're like, oh shit, how's this going to end?
Mm-hmm.
But it is a lot of the world building and about relationships between people, and it's interesting. Like, I feel like it's not something that I've read before. I know I've not read a lot of fantasy. I am still quite new to fantasy, technically. But I do think it is excellent. And I do think maybe because it's on KU, you should give it a go and see what you think, to be honest. And also, if you like it, you might want the special edition sprayed edge version.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read it and ordered it, so. But they're my reads. They're my.
I'd say there was some good recs.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
So there was a wide range as well.
I know. Whereas I don't feel like I'm going to give you a wide range now.
Now, are you ready to jump down the rabbit hole with us?
Yeah, no. The thing that started that wave of 5-star reads was Ide Fixe, and if you don't know much about that, then go to our last episode because we did a full episode about it because it was that good.
It's also it's full chaos. Enjoy.
Yeah, it is madness, and you're on the best side.
So who wants to go next?
So I haven't got a lot, so I can probably rapid fire mine.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of my 5 stars, George will also have as 5 stars.
Yes. So when you mention a 5-star, I will say yes. This is a 5-star.
So my first one is Green Light by Jessie Hall.
I need to read that.
It was 5 stars. It was delicious. I would never be able to read another bully romance because that is now my top dog.
Oh yeah,
I've read like 2 or 3 bully romances now.
Nothing can compare.
It was delicious the whole time. And like
right, when you read a bully romance, right, you get the bullying, right?
Yeah.
Hers he does more than just bullying.
He just hates her. He just
burns the fucking cello, for God's sake.
The cover is just stunning.
And like, she makes all of her own covers.
Does she?
Yeah.
She
designs all of her own covers.
I love it so much.
It's just delicious. Like, Shane and Montana are just... It's the angst and the hate between the two of them.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that she's like, oh my God, I'm so confused. Why does he hate me? And then it all clicks together and you're like, no fucking wonder, bitch.
No wonder. There is your answer as to why he can't stand you.
Yeah.
God.
So, moving on. Next one. Next. Next one is Conjure by Holly. Another one. I was confused. I was turned on. I'm pretty sure I need a therapist. I was scared throughout the entirety of this book.
That sounds amazing.
It's like Supernatural, right? That is the one for you.
Yes. Yes.
There's demons in it. There's people being cut in half.
There's step siblings.
There's apparitions. There's things that you don't think are real when they are. There's people.
There's
Ghost blowjobs.
There's like demon ghost fucking
Porn?
at some point. She gets like touched up by the shadows. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
She gets buried under the house.
Oh shit! Yeah, she does.
I know.
Wow.
Yes.
And there's also a loony bin mental asylum in the thing as well.
There is.
It's like a full host of things. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
Next one. I've got this one in the physical. Hold on.
Right,
What's next?
She's getting it.
She's getting it. She's got the receipts.
Daydream. Oh, I still need to read
by
that.
Hannah Grace. This was my fluffy read of the month.
This was my nice book.
This was my, I've read lots of things about demons. I need to give myself a break.
So I need something flowery and nice.
It was so... I really enjoyed Icebreaker. I liked Wildfire. I could have gone without it. However, Henry was my favourite character from Icebreaker. Yeah. And the fact that he got his own book and he got his own happy ending made me so happy. And the fact that he is just riddled with ADHD made it even better.
Right, I'm writing some.
Oh god.
Right. I've only got a few more. Let's rattle it off.
Go on then.
Next one, Madness. So this is book...
I'm not there yet.
You're not. This is book 6 within the Lord series. She is chunky. So it's 800 pages of hatred, confusion, torture. I cried at one point. I wasn't expected to, I didn't think I'd cry. I cried at one point. I know, I was like, this is a dark romance. Why the fuck am I crying?
Why is my head wet?
But it was just, Hayden. So that's all I'm going to say on it.
All right.
Because
I think is Madness number 5?
In theory, 6.
Or number 4?
Because Sabotage
is.
I was trying to think because I've read the first 2, haven't I?
So it's Sabotage, The Ritual, The Sinner, The Sacrifice, Carnage, Madness. I've only got Carnage so far.
So.
But he is a delicious cover of a man. Yes. So my next one is The Trap by NJ Weeks. Because this is when I start going into my spooky reads. Give her a minute. She's look at that. Oh my god, that scene.
Camera, Jordan. Just for the viewers.
Just for the views.
That scene was delicious. So it gave like Saw vibes.
Oh yeah.
They are trapped and they've got to play the game. They've got to figure out what the fuck's going on. They've got to fill the scream meter. And it's not like you can just... They were like... When I was reading, it's like, you've got to fill the scream meter. I was like, cool, just scream.
Oh no.
Oh no. They did it in a different way.
Oh, as in like sexual screams?
Oh, yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm. How does it determine what kind of scream?
It doesn't.
It's just the tip.
And
it's also ex-boyfriend's, well, boyfriend at the time, brother. It's really nice.
It's just great. I had a great time.
Really nice.
I had a great time reading it. Right, okay, so I've got 2 more on my list.
Go on.
And Harley's another one, Phantasm. So
oh my god.
This is part of the Exodus series. We were lucky enough to ARC read it.
Series, isn't it?
Yes.
He is delicious.
He's just
filthy. Makes you want to bark like a dog.
I think I did at some points.
it must be the age gap thing and the fact that he's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, he's absolutely loaded. There's like a decent age gap throughout it. Side note, Sinclair is like one of my favourite characters. He made me giggle throughout the whole book.
Yeah, if you read Homecoming by Kinsley, you will meet Sinclair in there.
Okay.
Because to be honest, I was like, George got to witness my excitement of when Elijah came onto the page. So Elijah is from what's the name of it? Something about a devil.
Devil. Fuck's sake. He's in Homecoming anyway.
Yeah. And I was just here for the whole thing. Like, she's like determined to find the truth about what's going on because, you know, dad's
so
dead.
The Exodus sort of like secret society murdered her. Yeah, murdered her father, and she's like out for revenge. She's trying to like crash the whole society.
Yeah,
ends up sort of like grouping with these like rebels that go against the society, and she's like, you know, we'll go in from the inside, bring it down. She obviously ends up, she sort of like pretends to be a cleaner.
Yeah, she pretends to be a maid.
This dude's little, is he called Declan? He's called Declan, isn't he? I think he is.
Hold on, I've got me post up currently. Darian.
So he is very much just like top dog. The
gives no shits. He's one of the elders,
and so yeah, and he sort of sees her, you know, buffing these glasses, and he's
pretending
like,
to work.
Yeah, he's like, you don't work here. And she's
I've not seen your face before.
And she's like, yeah, I do. And he's like,
in my office. In my office.
Like, yeah, in my office. Spread your legs. I'll give you a quick Tom flick. Off you fuck before I murder you.
Honestly, he gets her into her office, and Sinclair's like, I'ma just peace out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Have fun.
You got her in. I'm just leaving.
So he leaves the office, and then he literally looks at her. I'm pretty sure he says to her, he's just like, strip.
Yeah.
Strip. And she's like,
she's like, if I want to keep my life, I'll do it.
Yeah. So she's now Starkers in his office.
I cannot wait to read that.
And he's just like, lay on it. Lay on the desk.
Okay. No worries.
I'm done. When is this going to be on the pod again?
A couple of weeks. Right. So my last one. I'm still thinking about. It's another NJ Weeks one. It's Beneath the Dirt.
Is that an arc or?
Yes. It comes out.
It's out in like 2
days. It comes out on the 8th of October, so it'll be out by the time that this gets released. I think I still need to sit in a dark room about it. Right. So
it's one of them
it's their step siblings again. Can you tell that I'm quite enjoying that trope?
He is a good little church boy.
He is a good little church boy.
At the beginning.
And she's all like, witchy.
She's giving like hex skills.
It was giving hex skills. Oh my god, it was.
Yeah.
And then
there's a lot of church.
There's a lot of like religious trauma. So if you've got that in your bag, get reading.
If you like That Sick Love, you'll probably like this one.
I'd say so. This is classed as a psychological horror.
Oh, right, okay.
And I completely agree with the psychological part of it.
So do I.
Because my brain was mush when I finished this book.
It is one of them where if you think you know the plot, and you don't.
And then you just have to throw it out of the window.
Yeah.
Like, I think I got like
just-
two things. I got two things right in my tinfoil hat theories.
Mm-hmm.
All of the rest of them, I think I messaged Jord at one point being like, I've ran out of tinfoil because I made myself a blanket.
I've made too many tinfoil hats because I don't know what's happening. And I'm scared. And I'm crying.
Because like he goes from this like little good little church boy
to a man.
He's got a split tongue and he's got tattoos everywhere and
he wears a harness. He gets a ride in a Bible.
He does. Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Just go read it. It's really good.
No.
Do you think I can class this as my arc review?
Yeah, can I put this on Goodreads?
It's going to put the link to the episode.
And then Jay goes, have you got your review? Yeah, it's here.
It's here. Enjoy.
Well done.
But that's been me.
There's
Okay.
There's a lot in there that I think I would read.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The spice is there. It is delicious spice. But the thriller and psychological side of it it's so mind-blowing.
It's mind-boggling.
Like,
is it a long one or is it a short book?
She's only little.
It was only a short one. I think it's
on.
like 300 pages, if that.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
270 pages.
That's
and
not
it's
bad. That.
all the way through, you are constantly like, is this real? Are they seeing these things? Am I seeing these things? And you feel like you have to go back and be like, I need to reread that.
Like that.
I feel like I could reread this book again, like with Come Out. I feel like I could go back, reread this book, and still have new theories.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Very nice.
Jord.
Jord. Additional ones to add to all the ones you agreed with. I
know. So the only two.
We've done a lot of buddy reads this month. Right.
Yeah. So I have three that have not been mentioned. So obviously, one of them is Homecoming, which is part of the Exodus series. And oh my God, Elijah in that is something else. He
so excited.
uses cheese graters and potato peelers. And the relationship between him and his dad, Sinclair, is just, I don't know, but it is feral. It is dark as shit. And Elijah, if Haunted by the Devil, he was in.
That's the one. I knew there was a devil in the title.
Yeah, so obviously him and Rain in that. You know, that if you've read that, you sort of meet, where they meet and things like that. Whereas in Homecoming, he sort of brings her into the Exodus.
Do you have to read with one before
them
this one?
two just go to town, just slaying the day away, and
do you have to read the other one first?
If you want something that's just dark as fuck, do it.
Can you just go straight into this one?
You could read. I would recommend reading Haunted by the Devil beforehand, and then you can at least get a feel of
who Elijah is and Rain.
Rain together.
But not mandatory.
No, you could just go straight into Homecoming because obviously you realise that they are already together, and you just find out why Elijah is part of the Exodus and the stuff he has to do to get Rain into the Exodus, which involves a cheese grater.
Cheese, same again.
I am so excited to read this book.
My next one was an arc. So if you've read No Way Out by Santana Knox,
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So, the second one, which is No Way Back, that had me tripping. That had me shook. Like, if you've read No Way Out, it's
in my head.
You know, they're in a cornfield. There's a lot of dead people.
Oh, not another cornfield.
And things happen with dead people.
Yeah, there's a lot of using things that
shouldn't go where you'd usually put things,
especially when they're
dead,
no longer breathing.
So when you read,
you know, when you said tripping before, and it got that song in my head. Was it from the 90s or whatever? It's like tripping.
You got me
stumbling.
tripping. Oh, stumbling.
That's like in like a loop in my head.
So when you read No Way Back, obviously the couple from the first one, I can't remember the fucking names. I know the dude's called Dimitri anyway.
Yeah.
He's a professor.
He is a professor.
He's a student. You come into No Way Back and they are a couple in this one.
Yeah.
And they go to essentially, it's like a scare attraction, but it's
like
in a real life. Yeah, it's in a real life prison. So there is actual inmates.
Oh, wow.
And shit like that. So
that
obviously they come in, they are fully locked in there for like however many hours. They have to sign this waiver and blah blah blah. And so they meet up with her best friend who's in the first one, and she's got this proper douchebag boyfriend who is just an absolute asswipe. And obviously Dimitri is like, we need to get rid of this dude. He's a waste of time. Let's get rid of him. So, you know, as the delusional couple that they are, they go on a full rampage throughout the prison, let all the inmates out, one by one. And don't forget, there is public in this attraction. There is a whole group of people also. And, Mila she's called. So Dimitri and Mila just go around slicing and dicing the whole lot. And Mila goes into this sort of like this cell block where the nastiest of the nastiest prisoners are kept. And Mila does some of the nastiest stuff I have ever read.
I can imagine.
Like, we've got axe handles used. Dimitri with a chainsaw. I'll give you one quote from it. She tells Dimitri to not hamburger him, but hot dog him instead.
What the fuck?
She's like, chainsaw him, daddy. And he's like, yeah. And it was excellent. And there is also body parts used again.
Wow.
Again.
I'm never going to be able to eat a hot dog again.
But it's great. It is excellent.
She had a great time.
Fantastic.
You read it and you just think, what the fuck?
It was sickening in both ways.
Yeah.
Sickeningly good, but sickeningly sickening.
Yeah. And my last 5-star that really hurt me.
I already know what this one is.
This Little Liar.
Oh.
Malachi hurts my soul.
I have started Little Liar, right? And again, as we're currently filming, I am 14% of the way into the book. I have already cried multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's his...
The first part of the book is essentially you could tandem read Little Stranger and Little Liar.
Yeah, I think you could, because like I'm reading it now and I'm like, oh shit.
But yeah, so obviously when he meets Olivia at the airport and stuff like that, in Little Liar, you can read his point of view when he meets Olivia for the first time. And obviously it delves right into his childhood of why he doesn't speak to people.
That broke me.
And it is truly heartbreaking. Like, don't get me wrong, the spice in it is written really well, but you could read without it.
Right.
Just the emotional turmoil between sort of Olivia and Malachi is somewhere else. And then obviously, like, it's not a major spoiler because I know Ellie's reading it, but obviously characters from The Edge of Darkness come in right at the end, which you don't need to read The Edge of Darkness beforehand to sort of get the whole experience, because they only come in to say like a few lines, and obviously you meet Cade from The Edge of Darkness and things like that. And he's delicious. But it's between Malachi and Olivia, like all the way through, he's just like, I just want her to choose me.
It's what he signs, because like when you're reading Little Stranger, like the first time they actually meet, he like signs to Olivia, and she has no idea what he says. You might know what he says.
You read Little Liar and you're like, oh my god,
I need to read this.
It hurt me so
much. You couldn't think a character could go through the ringer as much.
Fucking hell, he goes through it.
Like,
even from just what I've read so far.
I think this needs to be on the pod.
It does, and I'm just gonna cry throughout the whole thing.
Everyone, go with this is coming soon.
Little Stranger, X Little Liar. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Because then it can sit on. Because then I need to get the new cover, because it's got new comments. And then the match.
I was thinking that.
It's delicious. It's heartbreaking.
I can already tell it's going to be another 5-star read.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to download it.
Yes.
I might have it straight away. I will read it.
Get it on the download.
To be honest, mine's been sat on my Kindle since release day, but it was like release day, and then it was like, oh yeah, you've got 5 arcs being delivered to your Kindle. Oh. Enjoy! And I was like, thank. You know when you sit there and you're like, I don't remember applying for all of these.
Yeah.
I think I blacked out. Like,
yeah, that's why I've stopped. It got too much.
But I don't think I actually applied for all of them.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. So,
I don't remember doing that.
That is like something like 15 fantastic book recommendations. So, and it's something for everyone.
Yes.
Something for everyone. So yeah, if you read any of them, let us know what you think.
Yes.
Because I'm intrigued.
Yes, yeah, sure. I need to know if my thoughts on the majority of them books are the same as someone else's.
Yeah. I mean, the ones that we 5-starred, yeah. Both of us were on the same level.
Yeah.
If someone enjoyed No Way Out as much as I enjoyed it,
I did.
If someone enjoyed No Way Back,
I had a great time reading No Way Out, and I really didn't think I would, but
And if you do want to get in touch with us, Ellie's going to tell you how.
Yes, if you've made it this far, thank you.
Thanks.
If you would like to keep in touch with us, see what recs we've got. We are on all of the socials, bar from X, previously known as Twitter. So we are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are now on all audio platforms, which is amazing. I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening. Like,
Yes.
we are stunned every time we actually get anyone listening to us. Thank you. And now we will see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace out.